Welcome to Youverify's compliance podcast series. Powered by cutting edge AI technology, we're here to help you identify compliance gaps, navigate the intricate landscape, and provide you in depth insight into Youverify's cutting edge technology and compliance products. My name is Damilola Amodu. I am the program coordinator at Youverify. And for this episode, I have an amazing guest in the studio with me. It's good to have you here.
Hello. Thank you so much for having me. How are you doing?
Amazing. I'm great. So I intentionally did not introduce you because I want you to do the honors. Please do introduce yourself.
So my name is Josemaria Michael. I'm one of the co-founders of Keble. And essentially, Keble is a platform that allows Nigerians and Africans generally to invest in global real estate opportunities for a fraction of the cost. So we've been around for, give or take, 3 years now. And we've helped real estate developers in different countries access capital easily via our platform.
Amazing. So when you say different countries, is it just Africa or the global market?
So yeah, we've offered opportunities in real estate in Nigeria, in Ghana, in the UK, and in the US. So 4 different countries.
That's amazing.
Thank you.
That's well done.
Thank you so much.
Well done. So beyond Keble, what's your professional background like, and why did you co-found Keble?
Yeah, so I have a background in accounting and finance. I've also been a fund manager for some family offices here in Nigeria. So parents-wise, I think I grew up in a very structured real estate environment. So my parents are real estate developers. Most of their wealth.
That's where the life came from.
Exactly.
The spark.
So I've always wondered, how can I make it possible for the average person to access, real estate investment opportunities easily? So I think that's where the spark really came from. Yeah.
Amazing. So how old is Keble again?
3 years.
3 years. Amazing. So what has the journey been like from idea stage to your MVP and to where you're currently at? Walk us through that journey.
Yeah, so it actually, if you check prior to Keble, we're doing a couple of things. I think as a team, as a founding team, we're probably 5 years in the making. When we started out, we're testing a lot of things in the markets to see which one actually stuck with our target audience. And I think most of the founding team were very early in their career. They're just scrapping things off. We didn't know anyone in the tech. We didn't even know that we're building a tech company.
Testing the water.
We're just testing the waters at that point. But I think one of the interesting things about, as an entrepreneur is like getting to know your customers better, getting to understand the pain points, and hopefully finding some sense of product market fit along the way that helps you grow really fast. So that's really where we are at this point.
Yes. So at the point where Keble was conceived, did you have the idea of a global market, or it was based off of the need within our jurisdiction?
Yeah, we never thought of any global markets. We were just thinking of, we are Nigerians.
We have effectively real estate.
We have enough problems already. How do we solve this existing problem?
Right.
It's as we continue growing, we actually noticed that even developers in other countries were having similar problems with real estate developers here. And we saw an opportunity for Nigerians also to tap into those markets. So it was literally by chance, to be honest. Like we never thought of global real estate investments at all when we started. We were just like, this developer in Sangote wanted capital, and someone cannot buy Sangote properties. So how do we link that together and make that possible? So yeah.
That's amazing. So I'm just going to ask a few questions around compliance, which is the gospel that we preach at Youverify.
Awesome.
And I would really like your thoughts on that. Noting your space is not the core financial technology space where everyone would assume that compliance is of utmost importance in those sectors, right? So the first question would be, how do you perceive the current pace of regulatory changes, and how has it impacted businesses in your sector?
Yeah, everyone knows that like regulation sort of is very slow when it comes to innovation. And when we started, there was no really regulatory framework at that point. It was literally like a very barren market at that point, so anyone could do anything. But I always say that coming as an accountant and as a financial person, you need to keep yourself in some sense of compliance, regime. So for us, we started out with getting a trustee involved in all of our financial, transactions. So they knew where the properties were, they knew how much we were raising, they knew who the investors were, and that was really critical to get some sense of, oversight on our operations. The other thing that we did early on was to see how we could get in, make sure that the real estate developers that we're partnering with were also compliant as well. For most fintech organizations, they only focus on probably the customer side of things, so the B2C side of things. But the developers themselves, on our own model, we had to make sure that the properties had the proper documentations, the developer had some level of track record, all of that. And in this space, there was no regulatory framework to sort of guide us in that. So we really had to guide ourselves. And hopefully, I think as we grow, we will be sort of providing some of our learnings to help the government actually, make those informed decisions and get things really. For Keble, we had to partner with Nigerian PropTech Association. They are like an association that helps governments, even SEC, to provide solutions concerning the real estate space. But most of them are technological. Most of them are tech founders, essentially. And the idea of that community was to sort of serve as a bridge between, the prop tech space and also the government as well. So I've been in conversations where like we're talking to SEC chairmans and we're trying to explain what this space is about. And pretty much, I think early days for now, but I think the major thing for founders in our space is just to make sure that you sort of have a deep sense of, deep sense of understanding of your customers, a deep sense of the landscape, and understanding that regulation sometimes is far off from where you are.
Yeah.
So you need to sort of maintain that level of conviction.
Absolutely. And I think one important thing that I noted that Keble did is to put compliance as an in-design concept rather than an afterthought.
Yes.
I think that's one major issue that a lot of founders and developers fail to acknowledge, right?
Exactly.
Compliance is not an afterthought,
Exactly.
right? Many startups are focused on growth. They forget the importance of compliance. It is an in-design concept, So yeah, thank you for that insight. So I would go on to my next question. We're going to be talking about technology, and you've spoken extensively of technology, and we cannot not talk about technology, right? There's the advent of AI, biometric verifications, all sort of technological backed concepts and services and providers all around the world. Technology has transformed compliance processes. Could you provide examples of technology-driven solutions that have been effective in managing compliance within the real estate markets which you operate while minimizing manual efforts?
Yeah, I'll just give you an example of what happened recently in Keble. So there was a time we woke up and someone signed up on the platform with like over 1,000 accounts. And the person really the goal of that person was to siphon money through the platform. So
like a DDoS attack or something?
It was really like someone really wanted to say, okay, we want to move money around and sort of money laundering in essence. And we woke up in that morning, I was like, who is this person? Right? What's going on? And we needed a platform that would enable us to sort of understand this person, know who this person is. And most times when these things happen, they happen a lot in the tech ecosystem, whereby people are literally moving money here and there without any sure understanding of, who this person is, where this money coming from. Most tech founders, it might be a good thing for most tech founders because money is coming in.
I mean, that's where transaction monitoring comes
exactly.
in. Yeah.
So we had to check, we have a compliance. Youverify is probably one of our favorites right now. And the idea was that, let's know if this person has actually done like a proper KYC on the platform. And that's how we found out that it's literally one person that is
1,000 accounts.
Yeah.
It's like a bot thing because no one is going to sit down and
exactly
open 1,000 accounts.
So we're just like, okay, and 1,000 accounts in one day is not an issue. It's just 1,000 accounts every minute. Someone is just adding accounts every single minute. And it's just like, okay, who is this person? And how are they moving money through the platform? So I think founders need to be very careful about fraud, especially when it comes to technology. Especially when you're in the financial space, you need to know exactly who is investing, who is transacting money, so that you're sort of protected in that sense. If anything happens, they're not going to call that person. They're probably going to call you first.
Of course.
And say, okay, hope you've done some KYC on this, and hope you've been able to verify that this money is coming from the right place. And having partners that can provide you some insights in on your platform or on your customers itself, it's really important. So really, is a real life situation that a lot of technical companies that are growing really fast have to face. That people are going to be using your platform to do a lot of
And
crazy
it's
things.
interesting to note that this is not a fintech. Keble
Yeah.
is not a core fintech,
Yes.
and you experiencing this. So it's just clear that every company, as long as you're onboarding clients, it's very important that you take your compliance program very seriously. You have your KYC, your KYB, your KYE. That's your employee. Your transaction monitoring is working per your just every of those services are very, very important to ensuring that you protect your reputation as a company.
Exactly.
You've built a company, right? You don't want someone just take it off of you. I mean, we have so many companies that are currently facing some legal issues, some
Exactly.
regulatory penalty and fine. And before they solve it, it's out there in the media, right? It's already affecting their reputation. Then there's the transaction, they lose trust, which is a very important
big.
currency,
Exactly.
right?
In this
Especially when you're
business.
a B2, exactly a B2C, even a B2B, whatever type of company, trust of your stakeholders is very, very important. Yes. So we're just going to move quickly to my next question. So from your experience, what is the balance between embracing innovative real estate market practices and staying compliant? And how can organizations maintain this equilibrium effectively?
I mean, so for us, a quick story is that there was a time we stopped business because of compliant reasons. And it was a difficult situation because as a business, as a venture-backed company, yes, so you're meant to see, oh, we are growing at 20% month on month, revenue is growing. But for you to essentially say, I'm stopping every single thing to settle compliance, it's important for you.
It's very important.
And that was a bold move for us as a company. Like, imagine not making money.
That's a bold move,
Yeah.
because you need to fix the back end for the front end to work effectively.
That was literally the thought process. And it has helped us to, when we got back in and settled every single thing, it helped us to fly, like to grow, to be bold, right? So most founders are very like, oh, where's the balance? I think getting like the structural, back end settled, making sure that you're verifying your customers, making sure that you're compliant regulatory wise, making sure that everything is settled to the barest minimum. You can actually push an MVP, right, and get things rolling. I think you'll be happier as a founder, as a business, that you're able to sort of cover the basics first and start moving, because now we're not thinking too much about a lot of things that if we didn't settle those things early on, we'll probably be stuck in that phase at that point. So yes, there is a balance, because as a business, you're as founders, we want to scale, we want to grow revenue, and that is really important for us to be sustainable. But settling that basics first is really, really essential if you want that growth to be sustained over time. So yeah, there's a balance there, but like always make sure that the basics are covered.
I agree. Absolutely. Like I said, compliance should never be an afterthought. It should be an in-design concept. So I mean, this brings me to the question I was gonna ask, right? An instance where compliance was the leading, or let me just rephrase. Let me just read the question out. Sorry, I was gonna rephrase. Well, can you share an instance when your organization's agile compliance approach? I mean, judging from what you said, it sounds like you have a very solid program in play. Where this approach has resulted in a competitive advantage or improved stakeholder trust.
Yeah. So one of the things that we did early on was to get a SEC-regulated trustee involved in all transactions. Prior to then, it was sort of difficult to sort of convince anyone that, oh, come and look at this real estate transaction, because they'll just look at us and we don't know you.
Right.
But when you get like a third party involved that has some credibility, they've been around for 50 years, that gives some level of, rest of mind from an investor point of view that, oh, we should trust these people. So that allowed us to actually do, like, I think before the trustee, we only managed to do like one transaction in give or take 3 months. After the trustee, we're able to do 2 transactions for major projects every single month. So it just shows that that level of trust was needed to get the customers more comfortable, and that helped us to actually grow significantly.
So how did you move from manual to technology in terms of your compliance? Because I'm sure when you started, you had some manual KYC process, and as you scale, you just have to, infuse technology. So how has that process been? Then for platforms you use like a Youverify, what's that process like? How has it added value to your business?
Yeah, so I mean, early on, you're probably having, I don't know, less than 100 users, and you probably know most of them because they're probably your friends. When you start growing users every single day and you're getting like 100 a day, 200 a day, 1,000 a day, it's you don't know those people, right? There was a time that we knew every investor on the platform, but right now I don't know. So it's like we need a platform like Youverify was helpful because it allowed us to sort of understand where this customer is coming from, who they are, and sort of to make their investment process easy for them, because it's not just for us, it's for them as well. That seamless process for them. So getting like a technology platform that enables you to make sure that you're compliant, especially from the customer end, is really important, as a business. And it makes your work easier to understand where they're coming from, but it also helps your customers because they're probably going to be, they're probably going to trust you more that, you know who I am, than if you're like, you just go through it and nothing. Imagine like opening a bank account and you don't even, you don't even do some checks on that. So that is really important. I think it helped us because it allowed customers to be much more calmer, when they're investing. And the friction itself is really important because I think before then, we would ask you to upload this, upload that before you do anything. Right now, you just need like a PIN and you get verified in seconds, really.
In real time.
There was a time we were saying, you know what, wait for like 24 hours, we'll get back to you because we don't want your problem. So imagine a customer just waiting. They lose interest. Right now, it's almost as simple. So founders should really start thinking about integrating like more KYC compliance platforms, in their solutions.
Thank you. And I'm glad that we can, give you that seamless process of onboarding your clients. So on a lighter note, what do you do at your leisure time?
I sleep. You don't get enough of sleep in this job.
After working so hard, you just find time to sleep.
Yeah, sleeping is good. Lawn tennis is good, and reading. So then occasionally just hang out with friends. I think that's really important to connect with outside of work.
Yeah,
that's really important.
All right. So let me touch base on team, right? Compliance is not just a founder's business. It's not just about management. It's everybody in a team.
Yeah.
So what's your workforce compliance program like?
Yeah. Right now, I'm leading compliance generally in the team, but we have a lawyer that has a track record of compliance. I think he even helped in crafting some regulation with SEC a couple of years back. So that's really important.
Right.
He gave us some understanding of what we need to do as a company to sort of stay compliant. We also have our trustees. So they give us when I say point man, someone I can call anytime, and we schedule meetings to see how transactions are going, how the projects are going on the platform. So it's literally a 3-man team at this point in time, whereby we make sure that because I see the transactions daily, I provide some context on what's going on inside Keble. The lawyer sort of provides some context as well, and the trustee point person, helps us to cement everything together, and we're good to go.
Great. So the very final question: what would your advice be to anyone who is looking to build a platform like Keble? I mean, take inspiration, not necessarily, exactly what Keble does, but just take inspiration and cue from what you already have.
I think having a strong team is important. Having a team that can, that understands the market really well, and that can also change quickly, adapt quickly to different environments and provide solutions for certain problems. So I think that's one. having a compliant-driven mindset is really important because that helped us to stay afloat when people were still trying to figure out how to push things. There's a reason why Keble is sort of probably leading the market right now in terms of fractional real estate investment. It's because we had to settle a lot of the compliance issues early on and partner with the right people to get things done. So getting your compliance really solid at the get-go is important. Having solid real estate developers as partners is also critical. There's a lot of things that can go wrong with the wrong partner, and we're just lucky to get the right people involved in most of the projects that we do. So making sure that all the KYB for the real estate developers, make sure that they have their CAC ready, making sure that they have they are building in the right place and they're building at the right time and they're building the right structures in place for those places. There's a reason why properties you're in construction, like they fall down. Someone probably didn't take time to look at all of those things and make sure that the developer is compliant at some level. So if you have those three things set, so I think you're good to go.
Amazing. Thank you so much. It was a pleasure to have you on our flagship podcast. And we look to see you do greater things out in the global market.
Thank you so much. Really happy to be here.